dynamics within our community, and the fact that we have implemented it for this number of years, since 2006, 13 years, and we have seen all the gaps that we really have to fill. When it comes to, the issue of blame, why has the Commission not done this? Why have you not done this? To us, honestly, there's so much we can do. It's a political decision on the part of some member states not to fully implement the provisions of this protocol, and they have maybe reasons for that. Some of the issues could also be temporary, like Burkina Faso mentioned, changes within the ministry that is causing delays. And you have the responses we get. What are the responses we get when we go for these missions? They are very positive, I can say. When we are there, we would do this, especially when the VP or the president is there. Yes, we are going to comply. We would externalize. We give a time frame, but nothing comes up. We don't receive anything at the end of the day. If I recall that some of these high-level missions used to involve, as I said one time, members of parliament in the various member states, and there was a particular year which, if I remember correctly, that the chair of council led the high-level technical mission, and it yielded very positive results. The chair of council, it was a lady who went around all the member states together with members of the then executive secretariat, and it yielded a lot of results. So here, yes, I think we need to reflect on the levy. It is high time we do that, and maybe increase the number of visits we have. The technical visits are going on very well. Technical visits, we have full cooperation of member states when they go in to reconcile the figures, because that is all technical. They work with the various offices, the Ecowas offices, the ministries of finance. They work with the customs authorities, the treasuries, and we have a whole team. And we do receive very positive results. But the issue is, of course, the payments, externalization for some member states, and the payments. Someone also mentioned, why are we not engaging the Federal Republic of Nigeria? Well, I think the chairman is here himself to speak for Nigeria. But I think we have been, even as yesterday we were in discussions with him, and we have agreed to an extent to carry out some very positive, activity. I think I leave it to the chairman himself, if he so wishes, to pronounce what was agreed to. So these are the sort of engagements we do. And we have already resolved amongst ourselves that we are going to engage at the end of this session all the member states that we feel we should engage with, and of course continue with our high-level missions. I can also say it as a fact that any time the president visits a member state, top on his agenda is community levy. Always. Always, and he comes back with some results. There's a member state that has refused to pay because, rightly or wrongly, that we are owing that member state, and so we should pay first before that member state pays. And we think that is wrong. Because if all member states are going to adopt that situation, that stance, then of course we're not going to have any revenue. And I think also yes, I've just received notice that my brother, the Commissioner Trade, would also want to speak on this issue. But with your permission, I pass the microphone to the directors to speak on the other technical issues. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Honorable Commissioner.
And the VP may want to speak also.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Commissioner. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Honorable Delegates, one of the cross-cutting issues raised on this report is the variation between the income and expenditure, whereby the expenditure exceeds the reported income so far in 2019. And the explanation being that at the end of 2018, there were a balance of community levy proceeds that flowed into 2019, and those resources were mostly from payment coming from Nigeria, because Nigeria normally pays around November, December. So those funds came in at the end of the year, and those funds were carried into 2019, and we are therefore included as part of disbursements to Ecowas institutions and agencies. So that explains the reason why the expenditure so far as at 31st May exceeds the revenue that have come in. As the revenue captured are only those revenue or deposits that are received for fiscal year 2019. Let me start from Ghana. I've addressed one issues by Ghana. The other issues from Ghana is the experience so far on our high-level and technical missions to member states. One, the high-level missions have been able to achieve some manner of payment from member states, either via memorandum of understanding, working out a payment plan for such payments, while, of course, the technical missions result in reconciliation between the reports on assessments and deposits actually made into member states, wherein we confirm if the actual deposits made into those proceeds accounts are in line with the assessments report from customs. So those missions do provide positive yields for the community. Now, I move to Benin. Benin raised the issue on the different dates. Well, the dates on the community levy process table reflect the last statement we have received from BCIO or the central banks. We have made efforts from the various central banks to be able to have online access. But however, given the peculiarities of central banks, we have not been able to have that. So we still rely on physical hard copy statements coming from the central bank. So it is as at when we receive the statements from the central bank that we report. So this report reflects the latest statements we have received from the various central banks. And we do follow up with the central banks via phone calls and emails requesting for these statements. So what we have here is the latest information we have from the central bank. And of course, it may be at variance from what the various national offices will have as their records. Benin also raised the issue of external funds. Perennially, it is only the Commission, WAHU, and JABA that have external funds. Parliament and court rarely have external funds. However, in this year's budget, Parliament has very minimal external funds. JABA, I think the JABA delegation is here. They'll be able to shed more light on why so far they've not been able to receive any external funds. Benin also raised the issue of the report on the economic situation of the community. I think this will be captured in the President's report to Council. Now, Togo asked a question pertaining to whether we'll have the resources for a supplementary budget. I think that was discussed at the stage when the supplementary budget is presented. Guinea raised the issue of the data on the table, which I've already explained. They also raised the issue of the discussion on the community levy mechanism. Well, part of the 2019 budget for the Finance Department is the stakeholders workshop on the community levy mechanism. So we hope that we'll be able to have that workshop in the third or fourth quarter, and we'll give provide a medium for all stakeholders, the customs, finance and budget, economic and national planning, the commission, to be able to discuss the community levy mechanism as it is, and be able to chart a way forward on how, on ways to improve on the existing protocol. Liberia raised the issue of the challenges why member states are not paying. I think those are very obvious. There are varying reasons why. Some are not applying on the petroleum product. Some, their national regulations preclude them from depositing directly into the levy proceeds account. So there are varying reasons which are very obvious, and sometimes they are beyond what the technical missions can accomplish. So that is why when such critical issues are identified, we try to have a high-level mission to those member states. But also, the onus is also on the member states who have signed the protocol to, put concerted efforts and make efforts to ensure that they are compliant with the protocol. Guinea-Bissau, comparison between 2 years. Well, okay, we'll try and provide those comparisons between 2018 and 2019 as of 31st of May. Update that the figures provided for Guinea-Bissau does not reflect that. I explained it based on the statements we have so far received from this year. Senegal, yes, we concur with Senegal that there were fruitful discussions on the community levy payments, and efforts are on the way by Senegal to effect payments. Also on the areas for the peacekeeping operation, I think our PAP division is also trying to work out something on that. Okay, my colleague will shed more light on that, and also Senegal raised the issue on the review of the protocol, which I've already discussed that. Hopefully the stakeholders workshop will be able to address that.
Just put the receipt of the period, but also the resources that we carried forward from the previous period, since it is also part of the budgetary resources. So that will, I think, close this type of issue. We were expecting the question, but they came so many that at the end we believe that, yes, we have to improve our way of presenting the issue. On the honorable delegate from Liberia, I think if you see all the report to the council, all the report to AFC, for the last, let's say 10 years, it is containing issue on collection of community levy. Now, there is an issue, say very frankly, we are addressing the issue always politically. The day we address it technically and say, okay, this is what is happening, and this is the difference on the approach. For example, Nigeria zero, everybody knows that it is because Nigeria is paying at the end of the year. But there are some countries zero because they are not paying. They are not paying since more than 5 years. They are not paying since more than 7 years. We are talking about their areas, but they are not paying what they are collecting now. And we know it. So if we address it technically, that is how the issue will be. This country is not expecting at all the protocol. There is no national law that comes before a treaty that you have signed with other country. That everybody knows it. That is the international relationship. But anyway, I want to say that if you go to others, okay, there is one, because they are under UMOA. UMOA is not applying this, so they don't apply it in Ecowas, even though they sign it in Ecowas. That is another issue. But if we follow them in that, we will lose more in another country that is applying it. That is another issue. Is it only one country that is fully implementing the protocol here? Only one country that is adhering to all the disposition of the protocol. All the others, they have one or two things that this is missing. The UMOA country, they all share the only one. It is the petroleum product. That is what they share all, because it is not applicable under what is called UMOA. That is the problem. Otherwise, we don't have problem with them. So, at the end of the day, ECOWAS has a political approach in resolving this, because there are protocol, there are treaties, there are even sanctions, everything is there. So if it comes to what management has done, management has been, oh sorry, I don't know where.